Welcome back to GameScoop. We have a question for one of our super fans here, Yer Donan.
Oh!
From Israel.
We love Yer.
Yeah.
Stay safe over there.
Yeah. So his question is, while everyone is talking about Game of the Year awards and such, I was thinking about the other side of the spectrum, wondering what games disappointed you this year.
What a hater.
Doesn't necessarily have to be a bad game per se, just titles that didn't live up to your expectations.
The Razzies, they call them.
Yeah, well,
Video games.
Nope.
What do you call that?
Raspberries.
So obviously, everyone's going to say Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the. I started. I'm only 2 hours in. I was having fun. It's what I expected out of Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Oh, really? You expected? Never mind. I'm not gonna spoil. I'm not gonna get into it. I'm not gonna spoil. I'm just.
I don't care. Tell me.
say,
Let go. Show
you
me
should
your
get into
narrative.
it, yeah.
Show me your narrative.
I want you
Why
to
the
get into it.
fuck does it take me 7 hours to play as Connor?
I don't know.
Why?
I didn't, they're
half
telling
of the
a story.
game. Half of the game is tutorial, and then you're like, oh, finally, I'm Connor.
It's really
More
weird.
tutorial.
I feel
More
like
tutorial.
People out there who don't work at IGN, don't read IGN, you know, they want a new game for their Xbox. They see, oh, there's this new Assassin's Creed game you play as this Native American assassin during the Revolutionary War. That looks awesome.
Right.
They get it home, and then what do they get?
All of the stuff that is on the box is shit you don't see for 50%
used in
of
their
the
marketing
game.
is like not in the game until you've played several
and then
hours
all
into
of
it.
that stuff is like kind of not good. It's just you follow people around, which is going back to yesterday's thing, like one of my least favorite things to do in video games. Such a pet peeve to just follow shit around. It's so annoying to not be in control of what I'm doing.
But again, that's Assassin's Creed. Like I mean, like I feel like I'm playing the hand that I knew I was getting dealt. Like I haven't.
Man, I love it too.
Assassin's Creed 2, like you were Ezio pretty much right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was out there buying paintings, dyeing my clothes. What do I care?
But when you follow people, I always like I knew what I was doing and I felt like I had a goal. And with AC3, I'm following people and they're talking about something that's like, oh, there's a general over there, and you go to the general and you're like, what? Why am I here? And you listen to him and you go back and talk to your friends. It's just so much like following people, listening, walking to a cutscene, walking to a cutscene, walking to a cutscene.
Do you think that Assassin's Creed is going to take the mantle, at least right now, in popular gaming nomenclature, that Metal Gear had forever?
In terms of being like stupid bullshit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's a cutscene, you're playing a movie, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, I think because it's like totally loopy and.
Well, that,
like
I mean, the Assassin's Creed story has always been that way for me.
Oh, yeah.
This is what Damon and I were talking about. I haven't played Assassin's Creed 3 yet, but the whole modern day, the animus bothers me. Like, there's no reason for it.
I saw an amazing tweet from somebody
right?
that said, all video games are art, except the Assassin's Creed bits of Assassin's Creed. Or the Desmond bits of Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
that's a really good
There's just no reason, because you can still have, because someone told me, like, no, you need the animus, because that's the Templars versus the so-and-so.
No.
And I'm like, you could still have that and be like,
Templars are in history, too. It's fun.
Exactly. There's this order of assassins, and then if you want to skip forward a couple hundred years, like Ezio is a descendant of so-and-so, and you don't need...
The string flew off, I grabbed it and threw it away.
It's back. It's back.
It's floating around.
Out, damn spot! Out!
Yeah, like, so if you present me with a game where you play as an assassin, you know, at any point in history, I'm pretty much on board.
Right.
But
I'm already on board.
Now, Damon,
You still need to be
if I remember correct, one of your critiques of Mark of the Ninja was you just didn't know enough about this ninja's lineage going forward. Wouldn't you have loved?
Not true. Not true.
Yeah.
No?
I mean, if you give me, like, it's an Assassin's Creed game, and you're in, like, samurai times in Japan, I'd be like, yup, like, I don't need any animus
right?
anything.
All right.
That's where the Vita game succeeded most, is that it didn't have that shit. It was like, you got a loading screen that said, like, welcome to the Animus, and the
You have the portable Animus, here you go.
you're just
you're
like,
living
have fun.
as this girl. Yeah, exactly.
It's like almost recreational. Like, your character, whoever you are, is just doing it because.
Yeah, the Vita, I love that it bent a bunch of rules. Like, you don't kill innocents, and then it was like, oh, a whole bunch of people saw you go kill witnesses. Yeah. They just happened to be on the street corner when I killed that guy accidentally. Now you are marked for death.
Yeah.
I don't
go ahead.
I don't have a specific game that disappointed me. I'm very disappointed in the year overall. So many games got delayed and put into 2013. Like this is.
Wait, I mean, are you at a loss of games to play right now?
No, but I just feel like, you know, Mitch and I, we talked about from, you know, 2011, 2010, 2009, 2008. Every single one of those years, it's like, this is the best year for games ever. Yeah. But then no one's saying that about 2012.
Even though 2012, I feel like 2012 was good. Like when Justin and I talked about that last, like we thought maybe was 2012 disappointing? And I see like the stuff that we're talking about for Game of the Year, and I realize like, no, these are amazing games.
Yeah, I mean,
but
great games came out, but still.
But it's not like this year has its Half-Life 2 or has its Portal or you know, it's Valve games.
There you go.
Disappointment for me, Damon, and this is, don't laugh in my face right away. LittleBigPlanet karting. I didn't not right away, I said.
I'm not doing it in your face.
All right, okay. For me, it was one of those games I knew would fly under the radar and not sell and not move any units and stuff. But I expected a lot out of it, being a big Mod Nation fan and a big LittleBigPlanet fan.
You were a big Mod Nation fan.
Yeah, and so for them to come together and not live up to either legacy really sucked. I thought.
Yeah.
That's mine. Now I've said my piece. I'll see you later.
That's good.
Did you guys have a game that you thought was going to be, just to prolong this even more, Damon, to just keep the conversation going?
Yeah.
Did you guys have a game that you thought was going to be disappointing, but you were just like, oh, holy shit, this is awesome after all?
Black Ops 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Black Ops 2, I
one.
really had fun with. But I don't think I thought it was gonna be shit or anything.
Yeah, just like
You were just
surprisingly, whoa.
expecting Call of Duty,
Yeah.
and it was a little more.
Yeah, exactly. I sat there and played it all in one sitting. I was like, oh, this is great. Yeah.
Angry Birds Star Wars.
Is which? Oh, you thought you were surprised by how good it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is an unlikely pairing that we were all like,
that's a lot.
well, hang on.
We
Birds
made
Star
so
Wars
much
is
fun of it.
awesome.
We were like, just mash random words together and you got a video game now. But it totally
Yeah, but
works.
like part of what we were making fun of was all the stuff outside the game, the real world toys like Angry Birds, Star Wars, Jenga.
Those Halloween costumes were out of this world.
They were
Yeah.
really, really good. That was a really good question, Yer. You're one of our favorites.
We love you.
Yeah.
One of our favorites.
you have to ask. Is he? What if you're like no?
No.
No.
That kid. He's a bad app. Lost a lot of weight.
Did he?
Yeah, lost a ton of weight. He's on this
Good on him.
regimen. Just
Yeah.
like Mitch over here losing all this weight. Quitters.
Dodging
Bunch of
hose
quitters.
left and right.
I had a burrito today if it makes you feeling better.
Good. I'm glad. Get back
Like
on
a
the
ton
train.
of sour cream.
A lot of
I'm
people are
coming
trying to
back,
bail on the
baby.
fat train. Greg
Yeah.
Miller is the conductor, and he'll continue.
I would
to
never
take
leave
to.
you.
I'm with
Thank
you.
you.
I'm first mate.
All right.
Yeah, first mate. It's on
I think
trains.
that's how trains work.
Anyway, this is Daniel.
You tried with that segue.
I was just listening to an older Game Scoop from January 2011,
That's old.
where Greg and Damon were talking about the way they want to go out.
Yeah.
By starvation from having nonstop sex. I don't remember that, but that sounds.
That sounds like us.
So I thought I'd share a story about my great-granddad,
Okay.
who was a pimp in England. At the age of 68, he was having sex with one of his prostitutes when he had a heart attack and instantly died. His wife, my great-nan, who has now passed, always thought the girl he
I would
was
hope
with,
so, by the way. My great nan, 175 years old.
His wife, my great-nan, who has now passed, always thought the girl he was with properly thought herself as a master of sex. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Do you guys have any wacky family history? I don't know. Nothing like my
This question was just like, we got there. We got there eventually.
Wacky family history. My grandpa was a pimp and
Yeah.
died having sex with one of his prostitutes.
Mine too.
I can't follow that.
I can't top that,
No,
nor to
yeah.
have anything like remotely comparable.
Well, Mitch is
was really
Canadian.
Yeah. Yeah. That's as far as we go.
Pretty good.
If we want to go
It's a little wacky.
far back in the family tree,
You've traced,
not far.
how far back have you traced your family tree?
I don't know. This is for I don't even. This is like some school
2
project they make you
generations.
do. I
Right.
don't know what it is. It turned out though that I don't know. I'll say great grandmother, maybe great great grandmother. I don't know.
Let's say great great.
Great great.
Well, let's commit.
Great great is what we're gonna commit to.
Okay.
Dorothy, we'll call her.
Married to a guy, had a kid, got married. The guy left the picture. Remarried. That's where the Miller came in, and then they took the name and moved on with the Miller.
Did the Miller
So, like,
marry the other kid?
I'm not the Miller. I'm not the Miller bloodline.
You've been living a lie.
But exactly. I should have a other last
You need
name.
to find what your real last name is.
Okay.
I'm confused about that story.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't
I
tell
don't follow.
So,
No, it's-
I thought the kids from the different marriages were going to marry each other, and that would be your
No,
wife's
so
history.
can I
Yes,
give
thank
this
you.
a
Boil
shot?
this
So
Please spell it out
a
for me.
child was born.
Damon, can you add a diagram?
child was born.
A son was born.
Yeah.
The mom remarries, takes the name Miller, so the whole family is Miller.
Got it.
But that son is not a blood Miller. That's this other man.
And that's
is the name
you.
Miller. And
I
so
don't-
he has the name Miller, even though he doesn't have any Miller blood.
So that kid is your granddad.
yeah.
Great granddad is what we said.
Well,
He
yeah.
was a pimp.
Got it.
No, I don't know how.
I follow now. I'm good to go. You got it like
He
draw
was a
something.
pimp.
Yeah.
Now this is Todd Buffalino.
I like that.
Buffalino?
Buffalino sounds awesome.
Good name.
Look
I
at
like that.
I went to
pizza.
school with a Dominic Buffalino. Is that the same person?
I think that's
Probably.
the same person.
Probably, yeah.
Changed his name to
Get a
Todd.
good buff.
Probably got married.
Hey guys, I am new to the show. I recently found the show on YouTube and it's awesome.
Yeah!
I love it. Anyway, my question is, with the first Mass Effect becoming available on PlayStation 3, do you think Sony would follow suit and possibly make the God of War series available to Xbox gamers who
No.
don't want to buy a PS3 just for God of War?
Nope.
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 Not a chance in hell.
No.
Not a chance. So the difference between those two is that Mass Effect was developed by BioWare, which EA bought and then
Yeah.
It's a
big
third-party
difference-
studio.
party.
The big difference is that it's EA. It's not Sony or Microsoft.
Yes, Sony Santa Monica did God of War. That's a Sony-owned studio. That is their baby. Microsoft was involved in Mass Effect, but had like an expired lease on the franchise.
They published the first game for a timed exclusivity on Xbox 360.
Although I will say, like, never say never.
Right.
Because I used to work at a video game store years and years ago.
Which one?
It was an independent place in Iowa. And someone came into the store and it's like, did you hear there's going to be Final Fantasy on the next Xbox? And this is like when the Xbox One was like pretty new. And I'm like, you're crazy. Let me explain to you the reasons why this will never happen. Like, I was the guy that knew what he was talking about. And then...
And that kid you sent home, Jeff Gersten.
Listen, I appreciate that. God of War will never come to the Xbox. Ever. It's
Market kids.
never.
See what happens.
Never.
One day Sony will be out of publishing.
That's what I'm saying. There's not
hardware.
Someday there's going to be no such thing as a video game console. And
Never.
That's true.
It's just going to be beamed into our brains or something. I don't know.
That's not an Xbox.
Colin Campbell has an article up on IGN now about asking the question, has this generation gone on too long? And has it been damaging to the industry? And he brings up a really good point that like Sony's not, the company is bigger than just its Sony Computer Entertainment. They're a big electronics company. And the company as a whole is not doing well at all.
Nope.
Sony, the video games are the only thing making money.
Their stock is like junk status, right?
Yeah.
So like this company is supposed to develop and launch this new like
That's
video game
expensive.
console. That's very different from Nintendo, where they're just a video game. They don't have this
don't have
other
to worry
business,
about
and
trying
they have war chests full of money that they can do it with. So that's the difference between these two companies trying to launch these new consoles. I thought those are very good points.
Yeah, those are. I mean, there's
Even
pros
though
and-
he's British.
I know. Well,
his grandfather
he's
a pimp?
overcome that handicap and managed to make it in the world.
Through the language barrier.
I mean, what's interesting about that with Microsoft and Sony is that they're beholden to like a board of directors, right? So at any time they could be like, you know what, this video game thing, this is not a part of your company anymore. And that won't, they're making money and yada yada. There's a bunch of reasons why that won't happen, but they could, right? Like that's always an option that's on
Well, the more
table,
interesting
so.
thing is to think about maybe them splintering off
Yeah.
PlayStation into its own brand and
Yep.
getting it out
Yeah.
from underneath this Sony Electronics.
That's the thing about both Sony and Microsoft. For Sony, the PlayStation division is like one of the only profitable divisions of the
But
company.
even that was rocky,
And then
for years.
for Microsoft,
Rocky
the Xbox brand is the only like cool brand that
Yeah.
Microsoft has ever had.
And the
Well, they're
Xbox,
rebranding everything at Microsoft with Xbox.
yeah, we talked about that recently.
We
We
talk about a lot of things.
That's true. The Xbox
Good
also
conversations.
lost
Talk about
money
pimps.
for 6 or 7 years straight, and then they finally were able to turn that corner. And
Strange corner.
This is taking a strange corner.
Good time for at least one more email this week. Benjamin Musgrave.
Nice name.
They have such
Says-
good names.
I'm a high school student in my last year, heading to film school when I finish. I'm also very intrigued by the video game industry. Do you think that with games like Heavy Rain and Walking Dead, that the gaming and film industries could at some point in time combine to an interactive media?
Please no.
Well, you already see a lot of overlap, right? You see people who write scripts for movies, they'll write scripts for a game.
You got the Hans Zimmer doing the music.
Yeah, you got composers working in both areas. You have voice actors working in both areas. Computer animators, I assume, can work in both areas. So there's already a lot of that overlap. I don't think they'll ever like be like a combined industry. But
Right. Like on the back end stuff, like on the development side, that's great, right? Because we have people doing that because they are musicians, because they are artists, because they are whatever, they're animators. These are just people with talents that happen to apply to multiple areas in different industries. As soon as like a film becomes this like interactive bullshit, I'm out.
Well,
I
yeah,
just,
I
I just
mean-
have no interest in that.
There'll never be one industry.
Audience, we need to get him off the ground and clap.
The industries are a Venn diagram, right? So you have like video games and you have movies, and there is overlap, and that overlap is probably bigger than it's ever been, thanks to animators and computer graphics and all the things that you just listed off.
I thought you were going to say thanks to Andrew Goldfarb.
Thanks to Andrew Goldfarb,
Great job, Andrew.
single-handedly.
He's the one who went from being an extra in movies to writing about games, so he really connected it all.
Yeah, he's living the dream.
Yeah.
And so but there's still obviously huge areas of that Venn diagram that are separate and that'll stay separate. But if you have a passion for games and you're going to film school, like you can probably do something in either of those industries if you want. Yeah.
This is the international sign for either.
Oh, really?
No.
See,
I
Goldfarb,
thought that was this.
Goldfarb is like this comic book character called Access, who could go between
made
the
this up.
DC
Is this
universe.
real?
Yes, the DC universe and the Marvel universe.
That's not
What?
true. No.
Yep.
Is
yep,
there a canonical explanation for
Well,
like
yeah,
how?
DC and Marvel came together to fight.
Why don't they put that
late
character
90s.
into
Really?
the movies? Both
Yeah.
the Marvel and DC movies.
Because everybody's owned by different things. They don't want that.
Maybe Access will break down those barriers.
Marvel can't put its own Marvel things in movies.
Can we-
Spider-Man can't be in the Avengers.
I am legitimately curious. I want to know more about how. Yeah.
Well,
there was a
maybe this
guy-
is a topic for another day before we let
I'll
Greg.
tell you all about it. Let's just say it involves a homeless man in a glowing box.
This story sounds awesome.
Lots of my stories involved start out that way.
We'll do an Access spoiler cast one of these days. Viewers, you may have noticed I'm wearing a GameScoop t-shirt. If you'd like to have your own, we'll put the link in the little beneath.
Do you come with the shirt?
Yeah, no. We'll put the link below, or we'll put it in the screen that you can click on. Yeah, either way, somewhere in your field of view right now.
They get it. It's on the screen right
This
now.
explanation's
They
gone
can
on
see
way
it,
too
David.
long.
Just keep putting it up. Just populate the entire
It's
screen.
going to be a long string of letters and numbers, and if you put your mouse over it and then click your mouse button over it, it's going to take you to another page where you can purchase the
I don't
shirt.
get it.
Unless
Start
you're on
over.
IGN.com, then
And
it
if you
won't do
put
that
in
at
your
all.
credit card information, there's going to be a transaction between your bank account and the.
Is there a PayPal
Sure.
There's some awesome shirts on there.
Yeah.
One of my favorite shirts is the Koopa one that I have that is just the 4 Ninja Turtles as Koopas.
True.
It's the best. I love it.
Good stuff
But
on
today we're talking about the GameScoop shirt.
Turtles.
Buy the GameScoop
Turtles.
shirt.
Way
Buy
to
the
go.
Beyond shirt.
Can we do like a competition to see which sells more?
The Turtles or the GameScoop shirt?
Yeah.
So please make a tech fetish shirt.
Tech over here.
We got some tech over here.
I think that is all the scoops we have for you this week. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Mitch. My name is Damon. This is IGN Game Scoop, and we're out.
Hey, listeners.
We never said that.